Good morning, everybody. It is the beginning of my very favorite time of year, early spring here in the Piedmont and montane regions of the Southeast. It's finally getting warm enough where I feel like I'm not going to be jumping the gun by hitting some of my favorite local areas, so we're going to do just that today. We're going to be searching for one of my favorite species to target locally, the Scarlet Kingsnake. Let's go see what we can get into. All right, that was a pretty quick start. Preston flipped a nice little eastern worm snake, actually probably a midwestern here, but very nice, healthy, large adult worm snake. Very iridescent and beautiful. A lot of the ones we've been seeing lately have been in shed, so it's nice to see one looking its best. A tantilla of microscopic proportions. All right, well, there's a little hatchling from last year, Tantilla coronata, the southeastern crown snake. And I actually think that's the first one I've seen at this particular spot. Very small, very cute, and very squirmy, so I'm gonna put him back. But nice second snake of the day. All right, well, while I was letting that Tantilla go, Preston flipped this little corn snake. Really, actually, a very nice looking little corn. He looks like he's either freshly shed or hasn't started going into his first shed of the year. A very pretty little snake. Well, these guys have been very common this year. One of the more common snakes we've seen, but I always appreciate them, especially here in North Georgia, where they're a little bit less just everywhere than they are in the coastal plain. You kind of have to be in pretty decent habitat to be finding these guys in the northern part of the state. So definitely a decent find to highlight the day if we don't see anything else, but it's only about 1 o'clock, so we're going to keep at it and see what else we can get into. All right, little dude. There's another worm snake. It's the third one of those today. All right, dude. There you go. Oh, a ringneck. Took a strangely long amount of time to find one of those today. Very nice. Nice splash of color to shake up the worm snakes out here. Really good looking snake. He's almost blue. Here you go, dude. Oh, Scarlet King! Yes! It took us long enough, but finally, that beautiful rock on rock produced our first Scarlet King snake of 2023 here in North Georgia. It's been a lot of work to find one of these this year. Normally I get one in February, somewhere in the coastal plain at least. All right, well, that is the snake that we were looking for today, and it could not be a much more fantastic looking example. That thing just didn't look real under that rock. Hopefully the flip clip came out as good as I'm hoping it did. It looked pretty great from my eyeballs perspective, but you never know how the GoPro is going to handle the light and all that. But just stunning. Beautiful stark white, perfect scarlet red. Just an absolute 10 out of 10 beautiful snake. That is just absolutely stunning. I've kind of put these two through the ringer today, going up and down these hills looking for Scarlet King, so I'm glad we finally got one. And like really, I've been kind of slacking this year when it comes to finding these guys. Normally they're one of my top priorities, but I had the whole diamondback tangent I went on, and it kind of took away from some of the time I would normally spend looking for these, which in the end is fine because we got to see both, and a fantastic example of each. And this is definitely one of the nicer Scarlet Kings I have ever found. And it's big, healthy, and not in shed. Not even, looks like it freshly shed already this year, which is pretty wild if that's the case. And if it hasn't shed already, it's almost equally impressive that it just came out of hibernation looking like a brand new car. I mean, it's just obscene how just beautiful and reflective and clean looking those scales are. Ugh! These things are such pains to get video of sometimes because they just want to climb your hand. They're very climby for a snake that spends a lot of time under rocks. All right, we'll put him back. Maybe we'll see another one. Probably not, though. This thing's belly is pretty crazy looking, too. Look at that. Talk about how nice this rock is. Just perfect flat rock on rock. Excellent for any manner of Lampripeltis. There he goes. Oh, nope. He's kind of, oh. I guess he's having a hard time getting in right there. There he goes. These guys are actually really good at burying as well as climbing. They're kind of like a perfect mixture of fossorial and arboreal at the same time. I think that's part of what makes them so fascinating to me. Look, you can see is he's definitely having a hard time getting back in that crack he was in initially. His head's coming out right there. He'll figure it out. I'm sure there's a hole in there he can get in. There we go. Keep pushing. You can tell how tight he was in there just based on how hard of a time he's having getting back under. These guys love tight spaces. Check this guy out. My GoPro's dead, but here's a big rat snake we found hanging out under 10. That's as flipped. He's just kind of on the crawl underneath the 10. That's a pretty good looking rat snake. He's healthy, doesn't have any blisters or anything. Oh, maybe a little bit there on the side of the head, but all around, not in bad shape. But we'll let him go. Might end up being the last snake of the day unless the rest of this 10 produces something. All right, well, we're making our way back to the car at this point. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it took the better part of the day to find that snake. I definitely think we're a little early still, but it has been a great day out here with our big target achieved and some decent bycatch too, like the corn and the tantilla. Good afternoon, everybody. It is kind of a weird time of day to start herping. It's about 3 p.m. But I've kind of been out running errands today and I haven't had all day to herp. But I mean, there is an incredible cloud cover layer right now and it is warm. It's like 80 degrees. So we're gonna go drive around and see if there's any snakes crossing the roads right now, or at least maybe some turtles, maybe a box turtle. All right, quick board stop on our way out to cruise. See if there's anybody hanging out here. Just the giant rat that was here last time. Cool. Feels so ridiculously good out here. We're just gonna do a couple passes, and if there's nothing on the road, we're gonna go hike because something has to be out right now. But I did a couple passes and I didn't see anything on the road, so I'm gonna hike around for a little bit. And if that doesn't work, we'll get back to cruising in time for the sun to go down because it is very unseasonably warm today. I am kind of in disbelief at what I just flipped. That is a huge, beautiful adult scarlet snake. Oh my goodness, I wish I'd had the GoPro running. But I mean, that's in situ. That's exactly what I saw when I flipped this rock. Holy cow. I cannot believe that. That is incredible. Huge adult scarlet snake. Now, we've seen quite a lot of these on the channel, particularly on the roads, but to find one in habitat is always a special treat, especially when it's one this beautiful. I mean, I was shook when I flipped that rock. That is nuts. What an incredible snake. What an incredible only snake of the day, too, if we don't see anything else. I mean, I didn't even start herping until 3 p.m. today, and not even 10 minutes out of the car, we have that. God, that is just so awesome. We've had such a good year for the tricolors already. I just wish I had the GoPro running. That would have been such an awesome clip. Incredible. All right, I'll get some shots of this guy and we'll put him back under his rock. Beautiful northern scarlet snake. Also, if you're not familiar with this species, they can be differentiated from the Scarlet King by the very, very pointy nose, almost more like a triangle shape than a rounded tip like Scarlet Kings will have. And then the easiest way is if you flip them over. They have a solid white belly. Scarlet Kings have bands across their belly. Another thing that's great about these guys is their disposition. They're probably among the most inoffensive snakes. You will never get bit by one. And also photographing them is just a pleasure because you put them down and they just sit there. I mean, that's perfect. What more could you ask for in a snake? Beautiful, cooperative, docile. Just the snake of the people, if you will. But I'm gonna put this beauty back. Fantastic start to the day. All right, beautiful. Back to your rock. That is so fantastic. This is a fairly large scarlet snake too. They don't typically get too much bigger than this, at least around here. The ones in South Florida will get a lot bigger, but not around here. What a find. All right, let's see what else we can get into. Well, I'm legitimately kind of shocked we found a scarlet snake before one of these guys. This is the southeastern crown snake. We know them, we love them, but very, very common. Even at places like this where I once thought they were rare, it's just about finding the right rocks and flipping them at the right time of year. Yeesh. Some hostile looking cactus. Look at the size of the spikes on that. Holy cow. I have never seen sundews here before. That is the first time I have seen a carnivorous plant in my home county. Look at these little guys. That is so sick. Holy crap, what a find. That might be cooler than the scarlet snake. But it also might just be because I'm not good with plants and I walk past them all the time. But that is really, really neat. Well, it took the entire hike to find something out in the open. There's a racer sitting right there. He's pretty well camouflaged, actually, up on those sticks. Very nice. Good to see something out. Let's see. Oh, there he goes. Well, that's not something we see too often here. Big red salamander. Now, of course, we do see red salamanders all the time, just not at this particular spot. I've seen a couple here, but definitely a weird find, I think. This guy's got something kind of weird going on with his tail. Look at that. It's like it broke and then it started to grow back. Here's another one we don't see here too often. Nice ring neck. Under a rock right next to the red salamander. But of course these guys, like red salamanders, are very common elsewhere, so we'll just let them go. It seems like Tantilla tend to be the more dominant fossorial here, although we've only seen one today. I'll flip this on camera. I've seen Tantilla under that rock. All right, everybody. Well, it has been a pretty fantastic day. I did do a little bit more road cruising. I didn't see anything. Oh, there's another squirrel right here. Didn't even see that guy. But yeah, I'm back home now. Probably going to call it a day and wrap up the episode here. I'm fairly happy with how today went, considering we didn't spend that much time out herping. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.